Okay. Thank you so much, ladies. It's so good to see you guys. I appreciate it so much and am so thankful for you guys for investing in the program. Please know that it's going to be a lot of fun, but it will definitely be challenging, and it's designed that way to push you, to help you break past any plateaus you've been dealing with, and help get you back on track. So just know that this call can be a little overwhelming. We cover a lot of information, but throughout the next few days, you will, we'll break down everything piece by piece. So that way it makes sense as we go along. So most of prep week feels that way, just because we're covering so much info, and it's designed to maximize the success through the rest of the program, through the next 6 weeks. So just remember that you have no obligation this week to complete the prep week workouts that are in the guide. A lot of women do, but you definitely don't have to. And there's also no obligation to start tracking your macros, although I encourage you to do it if you've never tracked before, just to get the practice in of it. Just the main thing is don't feel stressed or overwhelmed by it. Make sure to post any questions, email me with any questions, or you can post them here in the chat feature. And so the things I'm going to cover over the call is an overview of our food cycle, sharing some workout info and kind of the schedule, and then also some expectations of what you will have throughout the program, and answering any of your questions. So let's see. Often clients stress over this first week, and they start to feel kind of already feeling defeated. And guys, mindset is a huge piece of your success. So don't stress over it. I cannot say that enough. Don't stress over if you're not able to hit your numbers dead on this first week, or if you're not able to get a workout in this week. Don't give that negativity any energy. I created prep week as a way for you to adjust to the food cycle and the schedule that we eat in terms of intermittent fasting and tracking, along with establishing that routine to get your workouts in. So the CHISELED program is made up of 4 components to help you get results. The first element of the CHISELED program is we eat the right amount of macros at the right times for the right reasons. And so when I say time, I mean that we practice intermittent fasting. It's just the easiest way to put it is that we eat 8 hours out of the day. So we don't eat breakfast. So we'll fast for anywhere between 14 to 16 hours a day, and then eat for those other hours, 8 to 10 hours a day. It's really easy, and you will adjust to it if you haven't done this before. I promise it just takes a couple days for your body to get used to it, but I feel like most of it is mental, and so I am here to support you and help you get through it, and make it just a normal part of your morning routine. The second component of the CHISELED program is lifting weights. We are going to lift weights to build lean, calorie-burning muscle. It's vital that we increase your metabolism with weight training. So there is not any long-form cardio in this program. Any cardio listed will be either sprints or some sort of interval training, that type of stuff, that type of cardio training. We engage in HIIT and metabolic conditioning in order to rev up your metabolism, which depletes glycogen stores in order to burn fat for fuel. So when we consume carbs, our bodies store them as glycogen for future use. But in this program, we're depleting our carb intake. And so we do that to force our bodies to use fat for fuel because it doesn't have access to that previous carb energy source that it had before. So the last thing, the last component of the CHISELED program to make it successful is maintaining the proper mindset. So you have to stay optimistic and trust the process. And you guys see it probably all the time. And studies show that when participants are positive about their health journey, regardless of setbacks that they're dealing with, they are more likely to see success long-term and maintain what they've accomplished. So, we so often want to count our failures and compare how bad we all did. We're not going to do that in this program. That is done with. You are done with that crappy negative self-talk. Instead, we're going to celebrate our daily successes. Celebrate every small move that you make that gets you closer to that long-term goal. So I hope you guys are with me on that and that you feel it, because we're going to just let go of all the shit in the past and start today. Start today with a fresh mindset, fresh positive mindset. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to cover was the food cycle and the nutrition portion of the program and kind of how it relates to our workout schedule. So as a reminder, starting this Sunday, Monday. I don't know why I put Sunday. Starting on Monday, we're going to start our fasting protocol. And so we'll be following anywhere between a 14 to 16 hour fast, and then an 8 to 10 hour feeding window. So if you've never fasted before, I really suggest that you start out with a 14 hour fast. So that would mean if you stopped eating at say 8 p.m., then the next morning you would wait and start to have breakfast or have your first meal at 10 a.m. And then so you would do that Monday, and then Tuesday, maybe push it back to 10:30 to 11 a.m., and so on until you hit that 16-hour point, which is at noon. So definitely keep that in mind, that that's an option to slowly push it back. I personally had to do that as well, and I actually started way back. I think I started my initial eating window at like 7 a.m. and then 8 and 9, just because for me mentally it was just really hard to get through. So please know that that's totally normal if you have to slowly push back your eating window. So like I said, most of you will start your fast anywhere between 7 to 8 p.m. And then upon waking, you'll have already hit that 12-hour mark in your fast. So then you'll just adjust your first meal to around anywhere between 10 a.m. and noon, and then eating for 8 hours or 10 hours until, again, you hit that 7 or 8 p.m. to start your next fast for your fast for the next day. I hope that makes sense. So definitely ask questions if you've got them. So that's a few of the benefits of using intermittent fasting. One, I feel that because we're eating at a caloric deficit, it can be hard for us to hit those numbers in a long period of eating time. So if you're starting your day at 7 a.m. where you're normally having breakfast, and you're reducing your calories and you're working out, you're going to be starving all day. So instead, we're focusing on fasting and shortening that eating window, so that way there's a shorter amount of time. You can have a larger volume, bigger sizes of meals throughout the day, keeping you fuller longer, because nobody wants to suffer through starving all day. But a few of the other benefits of practicing intermittent fasting: it just increases energy, it improves cognition and memory and clear thinking, because your body is not using energy to digest food during that time period. And then it also helps with insulin resistance. So it's going to stave off fat and insulin-related diseases as well. And it's also been shown to improve immunity and lower diabetes risk and improve your heart health. So remember, if you truly want to burn fat, we've really got to prime our metabolism in order for high calorie or high carb days to work properly. That's another component of our program. Using this method will help produce faster results on those refeed days and help those facilitate fat loss instead of stopping it. Because oftentimes, people might see a refeed day as a day to just eat whatever. No, it's strategic, and there are specific numbers that you'll hit on those days. So definitely keep that in mind. And the other thing too with carb depletion, oftentimes people want to deplete their carbs for a long period of time. We don't do that on this program. On this program, we will carb deplete Sunday through Friday, and then every Saturday you'll have a higher carb day or a refeed day. And so that, again, is just a way to help prime our bodies for to facilitate fat loss for the next low carb or carb depletion over the next 7 days or 6 days again. So carb depletion is one of the fastest ways to drain your body of carbohydrates, and muscle glycogen. So it's a catalyst for using fat as fuel. And so it shuts off your body's dependence on those sugars and carbs as energy sources. And we'll kind of talk through also, depending on what your workout schedule is, how we can time your carb intake around your workouts on those low days. It also reprograms your metabolism to teach it where to pull fat stores from, that it's readily available for energy. And it also primes your muscles to want and need that refeed day every 7th day. So your body will start to recognize, okay, I'm going to have a higher intake day on this day, so I know that I can keep pushing through. And so properly applied carb depletion really sets up your metabolism for balanced and healthy fat loss to work for the long term. So it's something you can do, forever, but it really just gives your body that opportunity to use fat as fuel, which is what we want. So starting Monday, as I said, you'll start with a carb depletion food cycle. And so you'll have updated macros on Thursday. You'll see those Thursday via email. And so your low carb or your carb depletion macros, the percentage should roughly break out to 40% protein, 20% carbs, and 40% fat. And so we're doing this to maximize fat burn by forcing your body to burn calories from fat stores as opposed to carbs that are usually more readily available. And so guys, you will literally feel the fat melting off on those carb depletion days, especially when workouts come into play. So we'll have a live call next Monday, where we'll kind of cover how, what to expect on carb depletion days, and also, my best tips and tricks to help you get through it, because it can be kind of, stressful those first few days, and especially getting through with minimal hunger, because like I said, I don't want you to be starving. So low carb days can be difficult when you're first starting out, but just know that that's totally normal, and you're going to power through, drink lots of water, and just maintain that positive mindset. So, and then every Saturday we will eat at refeed day macros or high carb macros. And so that split will typically break out to 25% protein, 50% carbs, and 25% fats. And so that will be paired with a heavier leg workout day, a little bit more intense workout day. If you're not working out, it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. It's still super important for you to get that high carb day in. Don't skip your refeed day. It's really necessary to spark your metabolism and reset your fat burning hormones for the upcoming carb depletion cycle. cycle. It also maximizes your insulin sensitivity and sets up your metabolic triggers to properly function for that carb depletion stage coming around. So if you need to move your refeed day or your workout for that day, that's totally fine. Just try to move it to maybe Sunday or Friday if possible. And, you know, there's no need to ask me about it. Like, maybe just shoot me an email, let me know that, hey, I moved it around, and that's totally fine. I think Knox just woke up, so I'll try to get through this kind of quickly. So our workout schedule. So we're going, like I said, we're going to utilize weights and HIIT training. So don't be afraid if you are just coming back to lifting weights again. I really want you to challenge yourself to incorporate them and with our HIIT workouts. So let's see, starting on Monday, we'll start a 4-day workout split, and the splits break out to 2 full body days, 1 leg day, and 1 glute day. And then core work is added in, is scheduled daily along with the HIIT training or intervals or conditioning. So like every day we'll do some form of cardio, but it'll vary between, you know, if it's sprints or if it's a HIIT workout, that kind of work. For equipment needs, if you're working out at home, you just need dumbbells, a kettlebell maybe, or you can use your dumbbells, some resistance bands, jump rope, and a box or like a sturdy bench for, you know, step ups, those kind of moves. It's not necessary for you to get them over the first 2 weeks because we will be doing all body weight work. Except for the gym version. Sorry, the at-home version, it's all body weight. The body weight moves the first 2 weeks. So don't stress about getting all this equipment. Just, you know, we'll kind of slowly start to add those in. So really quickly, accountability. Guys, this is a huge part of your success. You have got to take your current measurements and your current progress photos and send them to me. Okay, I know it sucks. Nobody wants to take their measurements. Nobody wants to take progress photos, but I promise you that is a bigger indicator of the changes that you'll see rather than stepping on the damn scale. Taking your pictures and seeing and comparing them to once we wrap up the program, that is going to be huge for you to see those changes, as opposed to worrying about 5 pounds or 3 pounds on the scale. Every morning this week, there's going to be a training and questions email. So make sure if you, have questions or are confused about something, don't hesitate to ask. And then the last thing is just make sure you read through the program guide, use it to keep track of your progress and your measurements. If you would like to take measurements weekly, you definitely can, but you don't have to. I will ask around the end of week 3 for some updates on your measurements, just so we can make sure that we're on the right track macro-wise, and then we can kind of dive into, if we need to make adjustments for you based on where you're at the time. So quick priorities through prep week. So we talked about the program guide. We're watching this video. Tomorrow, if you haven't already, you'll download the MyFitnessPal app, and I will post an instructional video that shows you how to set up your account and how to make sure that you're tracking and logging accurately. Then Thursday, we're going to familiarize yourself with our nutrition cycle and the workouts. You can start trying to implement an intermittent fasting schedule if you'd like to, and start some of the sample workouts. And then the last thing is over the weekend, making sure that you've got the approved food list all ready to go, and that maybe being able to get in to prep some meals, so that way you're really set up for success during week 1. So I hope that I've answered some questions and hopefully taken out any confusion that you might have been dealing with, like reading through the program or the last couple of days of emails. But definitely email me with any questions, and this replay will go out here in probably this afternoon, I'll have it uploaded. So if you have any other questions about the workouts or the nutrition schedule, definitely shoot them over to me and I will be sure to address. So your first priority today, if you haven't already, take measurements, take progress photos. Okay, guys, I'm sorry I have to end this quickly, but Knox is freaking out. So I will see you guys later, and yeah, we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.